Hi there, my name is Chris Mortensen, and I want to share with you what I believe Toastmasters is all about. See, a lot of people don't really understand what it is or what it does or why they should get involved. So let me clarify a few of those things in this short training program. Here are the specific things I'm going to cover. Many people have heard of Toastmasters, but very few who have never been to a meeting really know who we are and what we do. I will try to fix that by telling you what Toastmasters is. Then I'll tell you how Toastmasters can help you, just like it's helping almost 300,000 people worldwide today. And before I'm done, I'm going to give you steps that you can take in the next few minutes if you think you'd like to get involved. So here we go. When I first heard the term Toastmasters, what did I think of? The same thing you and most everyone else does. In case you're wondering, no, it doesn't have anything to do with browned dried bread. And please don't bother, we've heard all the jokes before. But it does have something to do with this. You see, in the old days, a toast was a common formal tribute done in the form of a speech, usually preceded by the drinking of a special beverage. Apparently back then, when this was painted, the drinking age was a little lower than it is today. The toast is still practiced nowadays in formal occasions, typically at events such as wedding receptions, when the best man embarrasses his old friend in front of his new wife's family, and then everyone drinks. Back in 1924, a young man named Ralph C. Smedley had just started working at the California YMCA in Santa Ana, and he thought it would be a good idea to have people practice public speaking. So in the YMCA's basement, Smedley held the first meeting of what would eventually become Toastmasters International, giving young men desperately needed training in the art of public speaking and in the presiding over meetings. By the way, Dr. Smedley named his group the Toastmasters Club because he thought it suggested a pleasant social atmosphere. Word spread quickly, and Toastmasters clubs began popping up all over the nation and then internationally, starting in Canada. In 1990, the Toastmasters International World Headquarters relocated to Rancho Santa Margarita, California, about 20 miles south of Santa Ana, where it all began. Today, Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization that operates clubs worldwide for the purpose of helping members improve their communication, public speaking, and leadership skills. At least that's what it says on their website. Pretty impressive, but you're probably thinking, well, how is that going to help me? Let's take a look. Recently, I did a poll of Toastmasters and asked what they got out of being members. They told me all sorts of things, but some of the most common were, it improved their public speaking skills. Many people would tell you it works better than most workshops or classes out there because it isn't something that ends in a few hours or even a few months. It goes on and on, as long as you want it to. Its greatest strength is in helping its new members learn the basics of public speaking, but it can help almost anyone. It improves leadership skills. This is an often forgotten area, but Toastmasters has a very specific program designed to make you a better leader by developing very specific skills and giving you real-world experience developing those skills. Improving one's ability to communicate and to lead boosts self-confidence and leads to personal growth. Practice breeds success, and success builds confidence. Toastmasters works on your ability to give a prepared speech, but it also helps you with more unplanned communications. Both of these areas are critical in business and in society. As a leader and a good communicator, you must be a good listener. Through many planned activities, Toastmasters works on its members' listening skills, much to the delight of frustrated spouses everywhere. And becoming involved in an organization that improves other people's lives gives many of its members a sense of purpose and fulfillment in their own lives. Leading, mentoring, and helping others improve can be one of the greatest rewards in life. To understand how this all works, let's take a quick look at a typical meeting. You arrive at the meeting place, and you're about to walk in. So what should you expect? Each club has a different feel based on its members. Some are very structured, formal, and disciplined, while others are more like an open mic night at the Improv. But the majority of clubs will do most things the same. Here are some of the things that you can expect when you visit a typical club. First, you'll be welcomed at the door. Club meetings are very friendly and safe places where everyone is there to try to better themselves. Visitors should be greeted and encouraged to sign a guest book or a roster. The meetings will start on time. Probably. Some clubs are very good at this, and others aren't. Each club kicks off its meeting with its own style, and a Toastmaster of the day will MC the meeting. He or she should explain what's going on, what's going to happen, and will run most of the meeting. There are almost always a number of prepared speeches, usually about 5 to 7 minutes each. They'll be given by the members on a wide variety of topics. One of the really interesting things about being a Toastmaster is hearing all the different interests, skills, experiences, and stories of the other club members. Then there's usually a section of impromptu speeches called table topics. This is where members, and sometimes guests, are given a question or a topic to speak on for 1 to 2 minutes. This is one way that Toastmasters works on speaking and thinking on their feet. Each prepared speech is given an evaluation, because feedback from others is a critical ingredient to improving your speaking ability. To guide the feedback process, Toastmasters International has a series of manuals, including the Competent Communicator Manual. It walks you through your first 10 speeches, focusing on different areas for each speech. After that, there are a wide variety of advanced manuals. At the end of the meeting, there will be several reports on different areas, to include things like how long each speech took, how well grammar was used during the meeting, and how many verbal pauses each person speaking made, things like ahs and ums and ers. This helps people become more aware of some of the unconscious distractions they may be introducing. The meeting should end on time. Again, should. Some clubs are really good at this. Most meetings end pretty much on time. As a guest or a visitor, don't be surprised if at the beginning of the meeting you are asked to stand and introduce yourself, or maybe have someone introduce you. During the table topics, as I said, sometimes guests are invited to participate. If you're comfortable with the idea, go for it. But if you feel a little tentative, really don't want to, you are absolutely allowed to decline the invitation. And many clubs have a policy of asking guests and visitors to share their feelings about how the meeting went and the club in general, and maybe some other information. Again, you may decline if you don't feel comfortable. Now that you know what to expect from a club meeting, it's time for you to check some clubs out. The first thing you will do is figure out where those clubs are in your area. You'll find this on www.toastmasters.org. I'll show you in just a minute how to find all the information you'll need. You will want to go and physically visit clubs and check them out. Remember, you have no obligation to join them just because you're visiting. If you live in an area with several clubs, I recommend you visit at least 2 or 3, maybe a half dozen or more, because each club will have its own personality, and you want to find the one that fits you. Once you've figured out which ones you want to visit, make sure you let those clubs know that you're coming through email or phone call, or better yet, both. This way, they can give you all the important information you'll need and you can get all your questions answered. So let's take a close look at that Toastmasters website. Here we are at the Toastmasters.org homepage. If you want to find a club, you can either click here, or you can click this big orange box that says Find a Club. That'll take you to this site. You can put in the city, the state, or the zip code where you want to look. I prefer the zip code. I'm going to put in 80920, which actually is on the north end of Colorado Springs. So it gives you a map, shows you where all the clubs are in that general area. This radius is 25 miles, that's the standard setting. And here you can see the names of all the different clubs. Now this club is restricted. It doesn't take just anybody. I happen to know you have to work at that office to attend that club. And here's another one. It's an advanced club, and you have to at least have gotten your competent communicator to join the SPEAK leaders. So not all clubs will take everybody, but most clubs are open to anybody who comes by. So you want to find the club that you think might fit your schedule, click on it, and you can get more information about it. This one meets on Thursdays at noon. Here's the address. It meets at the Fire Station 19 on Research Parkway. Here's a phone number for someone to call in the club. And before you go visit a club, I highly recommend call somebody there and click email the club, because sometimes the phone number might be out of date, or maybe the email address is out of date on their website. Do both. Try to get in touch with somebody and let them know that you're coming. Maybe they'll be meeting at a different place that week. Perhaps there's some special event going on there, or maybe they've moved to a different location permanently, or they're taking that week off. You never know what's going on, so make sure you contact somebody. Another good idea is to visit the club website before you actually go there, just to get a little bit more information. You can check out some of the members of the club. and find out other information. Whatever you do, make sure that you go visit several different clubs in your area. Now you know a little bit more about Toastmasters, that we're about making speeches, not browning bread slices. You know that the organization can help you be a better and more confident public speaker, as well as a leader, good listener, and much more. And if you're interested in checking us out, all you need to do is go to www.toastmasters.org, where you can find a few clubs in your area and go check them out. Let them know you're coming, and my final advice to you is that when you go, bring a friend with you. It's always a little more fun and less scary, and you may be doing them a huge favor by introducing them to a great organization that can make a positive difference in both of your lives. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me at the email below. I hope to see you at a Toastmasters event soon.